Good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until probably about 5 o'clock. Come on in and say hello to me. Y'all know how we do. If you don't know how we do, that's how we do. We come in, you say hello, that's the cost of admission. I say hello back. Represent your city, represent your community, represent your street, represent your whatever. You can tell me what state you calling from if you're not in Ohio. You can tell me what city you calling from if you're, in the area. You can tell me what community you calling from if you're in Cincinnati, the greater Cincinnati area. You can even tell me your address. Whatever, just wherever you calling from, just let me know who you represent. That's how I start the show, saying hello. Got a few things that I want to talk about. Nothing too deep. I don't know, I'm not a deep guy. I like to have fun and talk about stuff. If you want to give me a call, 513-717-KING. That's 513-717-5464. Let's get to it. Robert Willis, good afternoon. Almost always first. Appreciate you, Robert. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. Moonrise. I'm guessing that's supposed to be Moonrise. Moonrise says, I'm your first, I'm your last, I'm your everything. You were not first. You're not last. Definitely not everything. But you're important. You are important. Nick Brown, good afternoon, representing beautiful Blue Ash. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. Erica Hummins has dropped into 4th spot. Always top 3. They trying to beat you. Erica, representing Reading, thank you for checking us out. We got Mike Ballard rounding out the top 5. Mike Ballard, representing Woodlawn. Excuse me. Representing Woodlawn. Good afternoon, Mike. Thank you for checking out the show. Cindy Hill, good afternoon to you. We got Drea in the house, representing Sycamore Township. Good afternoon. Thanks for checking out the show. Preston says afternoon from Avondale. Okay. Preston representing Avondale. Pamela Kinney in the house. Good afternoon. Pamela's representing North Avondale. Sound like beef right there. Sound like some beef right there. Daryl in the house. He's representing Forest P. All right. Well, Daryl, I appreciate you. Thank you for checking in. Yo Underwood says, good afternoon, everyone. Checking in from JC. This music is too soothing for this show. This is a soothing, very non-controversial show. Hear that, Aunt Matt? No controversy here. Yo Underwood, good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. We got Dwayne Larkin in the house representing Mount Airy. Good afternoon, Dwayne Larkin. Cindy says it's too much corruption in high places. Okay, what are you talking about? Regina, representing Madisonville. Good afternoon. And Cindy says, let me block now. You blocking me? What'd I do? Maybe you're blocking somebody else. I don't know. I don't think you have to block anybody. Everybody gonna be on their best behavior today. We gonna have fun and talk. Sean representing the ATL. He didn't say that, but I remember that. Good afternoon, Sean Nutter. Daryl says, R.I.P. Rich Homie Quan. Drug overdose is what I read. All right. I know that's a rapper. Just because the name is familiar. I couldn't tell you no Rich Homie Quan nothing. And a lot of people are just look, man, drugs ain't cool. Drugs ain't cool. People still do drugs because they think it's cool. Drugs ain't cool. Doing all that stuff is dangerous. Stop. Valerie Davis say, Grand Day, powerful royal people. Wells Street, Price Hill. All right, representing Price Hill. Nate says, I'm first. You are so far from first. It's not even funny. Maybe you're first on the platform that you're checking us out on. But thank you for checking out the show. Brenda, representing Fairfield. Good afternoon. Ron says, what up, Gus? Who in the heck is Gus? But what's up to you? Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Steban, representing Westwood. Good afternoon, Steban. Good afternoon. We got Brent in the house, representing Dallas, Texas. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Moonrise says, first on YouTube. No, you were not. You were not. Robert Willis is on YouTube. You may have been the first on the YouTube platform that you're on. So I'm not taking away I'm gonna accept that you were probably first on the YouTube page that you're on. So I got 2 YouTube pages. One is the personal page, Emanuel Livingston, and then one is the afternoon experiment. So congratulations, Moonrise, on being first on that page. Pat, representing East Westwood. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking us out. Let's see. I think I already said Underwood. Andrea Bustle, representing downtown. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Carolyn Smith, representing East Walnut Hills. Good afternoon. My OSHA says non-controversial, and she used the A word. I don't cuss. We all know that. So, but she's just being a hater. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. See, she trying to bring that one energy. But we're not having it today. We're not having it today. Sea Breeze in the house. Say, what's up, E-Man and the AE crew? She's representing Boston. Good afternoon. We got Alethea in the house. She says, hello, hello, hello. Sea Breeze says, I'm shocked you knew he was a rapper. I used to work at a radio station. And right across the hall from the radio station was another radio station. But then right across the hall from that radio station was a radio station that we called The Wiz. I knew all of them people. I heard them talking. I know a little bit. I know a little bit about, stuff like that. Brent says Emmanuel's unconventional hairline is definitely controversial. See, more people just trying to bring that one energy. I'm not falling for it today. My OSHA says, I think people do drugs to get high. I don't think people start doing drugs to get high. I think many people start doing drugs. They think it's cool. They want to fit in. They want to stand out. They want to, Now, it's possible some people who've never done drugs before is like, I just want to get high. Give me some meth. It's possible. It's possible. But I think a lot of times it start out because, it's whatever the culture is that you're into. So I'm not saying black culture or white culture. There is a drug culture out there. And there is a culture of people who pretend that, drugs is, or, believe and feel like drugs is cool. I would argue that the majority of the people that you hear talking about the fact that they smoke weed, they probably started it because they thought it was cool, and they continue to do it and talk about it in part because they think it's cool. Because if I was a weed smoker, I probably wouldn't be running around talking about, I smoke weed. Even I'm addicted to sugar. I don't just run around, hey, I'm drinking Kool-Aid. Yep, I sure am. I'm sitting back, drinking some Kool-Aid. I'm eating cookies. What am I doing? I'm eating cookies. That's what I'm doing. I don't, because it ain't cool. It's just something that I do. That it's an addiction that I have. So, yeah, I think a lot of times there's a component of that to it. Valerie, Good afternoon. I was saying something. Y'all not gonna get me in that nonsense. Daryl says people are stressed out here and don't know how to cope. Even the ones with money. I believe that, but I don't believe, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. That somebody not sitting around stressed out like, oh my goodness, I can't believe, you know what I'm saying, my car is broke down. I can't believe I lost my job. Oh my God. And they never did drugs before. They like, oh my God, I just need some cocaine. You ain't never done drugs before. You're a little stressed out. And the first thing you think, oh, I'm so stressed. Oh, I need some heroin. I need some heroin to take the edge off. It could happen. It could happen. Seabury says, did you ever explain that sincere apology post from the other day? I gave a really sincere apology. That's it. There's no other explanation to it. Y'all be trying to read stuff into stuff. I was on air. I gave a really sincere apology, and then I thought about it the next morning, and I was like, that apology was sincere as... That's it. That's it. Lewis, good afternoon. Lewis is representing Sharonville. Seabury says, stop hating, let people think they first. I'm not that much into letting people believe things that ain't true. I like to give people information. Then if you want to continue to believe the thing that ain't true, then go for it. I can tell it's going to be a S day today. Wow. Moon Reyes says, who give a F? Y'all doing a lot of cussing in the comments without even typing the cuss word. Some of y'all are actually typing the cuss word, but if you say who give a F, then why did you say it? You said I'm first, and then I'm like, okay, you not first, and I don't give a F. I love you, Moon Reyes. I love you. Cedric says, good afternoon to the lab rats. I don't know that anybody wants to be called that, but thank you for checking out the show. Dominique Finley representing Walnut Hills. Good afternoon. Nate says, I can't believe Caramian called the Lincoln Ware show with bad information, and the lady who's forbidden me to say her name didn't correct her. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Clue me in on what you're talking about. Somebody talking about somebody's mammy. Man, y'all got bad energy today. On this side, we gonna be non-controversial. We not cussing. What y'all do is what y'all do. Y'all know I don't cuss anyway. Ben Thomas says, what's up, afternoon family? What's up, Ben? What's up? Ben says he's representing Pleasant Ridge. Can't beat that. Ron says we were both right. I think he meant me and Moesha, that we were both right. I'm not sure if that's true. LaDonna says, well, never for me. I don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about drugs? Hopefully that's what you're talking about. Crystal Hoskins says, good afternoon, Emanuel and everyone. Good afternoon, Crystal Hoskins. We got Bonita Gaines in the house. Good afternoon, Bonita. Crystal says she's representing the Christ Hospital. Ron says, because you can get sugar anywhere. I'm not sure what your point is. I could still be bragging about it. Daryl says, the hip-hop culture is very well drug-infested. Let's not act, I'm sure, like it isn't. All the songs we hear today, them artists were high as H in the studio making those songs. Quite possible. But the reason why it's I'll use your term, infested with drugs, is because that's cool now. That's cool now. That's the in thing. It's the cool thing to do. You don't have to hide it. You can, just have it out in the open. Weed and stuff like that. Now, I don't know, heroin, you might still have to hide heroin. But I don't know. I'm not in that portion of the music scene. I'm not in that portion of the music scene, so I can't really say for sure. I could see them, being in the studio, like, hey, let me go lay down this verse. Hold on, let me do this first. Anybody want some heroin? You want some? You want some heroin? All right, we'll get you some in a minute. Hold on, let me do mine first. I don't know that that's gonna, that don't go fly over as well as, you won't hit this. But, so I don't know. Mayosha says, not Kool-Aid. Do they still sell Kool-Aid? I don't know anyone who drinks it anymore. Yes, they still sell Kool-Aid. Yes. And you don't know anybody who drinks it because you're rich. I don't know that rich people drink Kool-Aid. Rich people have juice. Some of us have Kool-Aid or drink. Preston says, I grew up around drugs and started selling them as a young teen. I've done any kind of hard drugs, and I don't classify weed as a drug. Preston, okay, read that over and make sure that that's what you meant. I grew up, I'm reading exactly what you said. I grew up around drugs and started selling them as a young teen. I've done any kind of hard drugs, and I don't classify weed as a hard drug. Are you saying that you've done every drug out there, all of the hard drugs? You've done heroin, you've done... I'm not accusing you. I just want to understand the message that you sent because it feel like it was maybe mistyped. Ron D in the house. Ron, how you doing?
Hey, look. If they outlaw sugar, everybody would know that you was a sugar fiend.
Well, it's not necessarily about everybody knowing. It's about me bragging about it.
Yeah. But if they outlaw sugar, everybody would know. Hey, I got some cake. Hey, anybody got some cake? Hey, somebody got some ginger snaps?
No, I wouldn't be just sitting around. You know how, like, sometimes you be like, I'm going to go get some weed, man. I'm just sitting back here. I'm just fucking smoking some weed. I wouldn't be bragging about it like, man, I just got finished eating some cake. My bro, I'm just sitting here with ginger snaps. I wouldn't be bragging about it.
No, I disagree. Because you would be like, hey, man, so-and-so got some ginger snaps. But Mayosha, she got that work. She got them fresh ginger snaps. We gonna get some from Mayosha.
That might be
using her for an example.
Yeah, because she would have the best ginger snaps. That might be something that I would say in a private conversation with somebody as we trying to figure out how we gonna run up on some ginger snaps. But I wouldn't just be bragging to the general public like, oh man, I ain't doing nothing but sitting here eating ginger snaps. I wouldn't do that.
You would do that if ginger snaps or if the sugar was outlawed.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I wouldn't.
You don't smoke weed and you don't do drugs, so we'll never know. And sugar ain't outlawed, so it is what it is.
But I'm saying but you brag about smoking weed because you think it's cool.
Oh, no, I brag about smoking. Well, and I don't brag about smoking weed.
You do.
I say I'm smoking, or when you said something about me coughing the other day, I said, you already know what I'm doing, but I don't smoke weed, just because I was smoking weed when I was young. I smoke weed now for pain. I don't take pain medication. I won't take opioids.
Okay,
so
but what I'm saying is you brag about it. Like if you were taking opioids, you wouldn't call in and I'd be like, hey, what's wrong with it? You'd be like, bro, I just popped some opioids. You know how I do. I popped them opioids. You wouldn't do that. But it's cool to say that you smoke weed.
Boy, you be making up shit. I don't do that shit because I have a medical card and I had a medical card forever. So, I can go get the best weed. So I don't have to brag about no weed. And
Right, you don't
I ain't
have
got
to, but
nobody
you
brag.
do. That's what I'm
I don't have
saying.
nobody brag about it too.
But I'm
So,
saying you don't have to brag about it, but you do brag about it because it's a
where I
cool
brag
thing to
about
do.
where I brag about it at? Huh?
Here.
What? You'll be man. Your integrity
Remember
is
the
in
bet that wasn't,
question.
and you were talking about, oh, you gonna buy me some weed? You gonna buy me some weed? Now, if you use
I
heroin,
said,
you wouldn't have been on here
I
talking
bet
about,
you
okay, I
ounce
want
of
to bet you an
weed.
ounce of heroin, because that ain't cool. But weed is cool, so it's cool to say that. Then that's why you say that.
Well. I mean,
Come
you
on,
would
you
be
can just be
correct with
honest. Ain't
you
nothing
would be
wrong with it.
correct with somebody else that didn't just tell you I don't take opioids. I had multiple back surgeries, and I have to have something for the pain. So
I,
you just
hold on.
yeah,
I
I just
understood.
told you.
No,
I just told you
you might have told
what
me
I think,
why you use
and
it,
that ounce
but
of
that don't
weed
explain
is
why you
for my
brag
pain.
about it.
So no, nigga, I know what you were trying to say, but you
Plus,
are incorrect. You
Ron.
are incorrect. Hey,
Plus,
why you just want to? Why you
Ron,
just want to say you
Ron,
incorrect?
Ron,
Why you just want to say
Ron.
Emmanuel,
Oh my goodness,
Emmanuel,
Ron. Plus,
Emmanuel? Oh my
what you
God,
could
Emmanuel,
easily do instead of
Emmanuel.
smoking weed, you could use edibles, and you would get the same effect. But that,
You don't get the man. Get
I
the fuck
look,
out of here. You don't even
I'm telling
fucking
you what I
smoke
was told
weed.
by people who really do that
Hey,
stuff.
you
Like
can,
you get
hey,
sometimes
you can
even a
kick
better
rocks
high,
with
if you
that
want to
bull.
call it that. You get a
Hey,
better effect
you can
from
kick
some of these
rocks with that
edibles.
bull. You don't even smoke. You ever smoke weed?
Yes.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you ever smoke weed more than the time you puffed the weed?
I didn't puff it, I smoked it.
You just puffed some weed, right?
I didn't puff
But
it, I
you ain't never
smoked it,
smoked no weed.
and I didn't like it.
No.
Don't be
You
mad
ain't
because you
never
don't
been a
like the
weed.
answer. You asked me, did I
You
smoke weed? I answered your question. Yes,
you
I
ain't a
did.
weed
Now, what
smoker.
was the point that you
You
wanted to make
you
about that?
ain't a weed smoker. You be Fox, 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 Fox. You full of shit. You ain't never smoked no weed, and you don't have my tolerance level, so you can't speak about my shit. Not no kind of way
You're right. I'm
can you
not
speak
cool.
about
I
my
am not
shit.
cool like you.
No kind of way can you speak about my shit. Well, I
I'm not.
mean
I'm not cool like you.
that
I agree.
goes without question. Hey,
Yeah.
that goes without question.
Yes, it
I
does.
mean, you said you was a lame. I didn't say that shit.
Hey,
You said,
I didn't
huh?
say that, but I'll accept
Yes,
it.
you
I'm okay
did.
with it.
You said it multiple times. You said it multiple
No, I
times.
didn't.
Oh, okay.
But I'll
Well,
accept it. I'm
okay.
not arguing with you
Hey,
on it.
hey,
We don't have to argue that
you,
point.
hey. I mean, you know what? You said I was cool, so you were trying to insinuate it and get that little shit off. I just got my little shit off in return.
It's
You know
fine.
how we do.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
you know how we do.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so
So,
did you see what Hunter Biden and his defense attorney did today?
I was gonna bring that up. I'm glad you brought it up. Then that way I didn't have to. Yes, they're
Hey,
taking what is it called? An
hey.
Alford plea? They're I guess proposing an Alford plea.
That motherfucker, I think it is. That motherfucker said, I'm guilty, but I'm not guilty. Boy, that motherfucker say, I'm admitting guilt, but I ain't guilty. That's some hey
That's
man.
not an admission
That,
of guilt.
hey,
It's
uh,
not.
uh,
It's not an
that,
admission of guilt.
hey, hey man, you can twist that shit up any kind of way you want to twist it
I'm
up.
just telling you what the
No, but what it is,
Ron, can we have
hey,
a conversation like a regular conversation like normal
no,
people?
no, you can't have a regular conversation with me because I ain't a regular motherfucker. So I agree with you. I agree with you. That it's not guilty. I mean, shit. You asked shit.
Okay, I accept the answer. I'm glad you actually answered the question. So it has to be difficult. Ron, let me
Okay. Well,
my question to you. is because
Okay.
he's taking an Alfred plea. For those who don't know, I believe it's called an Alfred plea. For those who don't know, I guess the technical way to explain an Alfred plea is what you're saying when you take that plea deal is I accept that the prosecution has enough evidence to convict me, but I'm not admitting guilt, but I will take the punishment as if I were convicted of the crime. That's what
Yeah.
the plea is.
Basically. You know, I did it, but I ain't do it.
That's not the same thing.
Hey, it's just like you were explaining my words yesterday. You know, I did it, but I ain't gonna admit to it.
Not the
But
same thing.
I did it. Hey, man, what's the trippy is that now I told you a year ago because I didn't think Biden was gonna make it to. Well, I knew Biden wasn't gonna make it to the election, but I just knew that these motherfuckers would have just took and put Kamala as president. I didn't anticipate no election. It shouldn't have been no fucking election. It shouldn't have been.
Well, according to you, there is not gonna be one.
Look, okay, man, you trying to get me off my
I'm just
stuff
acknowledging
right
your prediction. That's it.
No, okay, no.
Don't get confused. You don't even have to respond to that. You were talking about Kamala becoming the president. Go ahead.
Amen. So, like I said, I didn't think this motherfucker was gonna make it. I knew he wasn't gonna make it to the election.
And you know there's not gonna be one.
That Kamala wouldn't. I didn't think that they wouldn't just install Kamala as president. That was a mistake in itself. But it ain't too late. Because now somebody got to pardon this motherfucker. Somebody got to pardon him.
Why?
Somebody. Now, I think it's my personal opinion, like you was making that scenario about me yesterday. I think it's my belief that was the prerequisite for Biden bowing out and giving Kamala the go ahead to run. That she would, if she was president, take and pardon Biden.
Okay.
And I'm, all of that stuff. Now, him admitting that guilt.
He didn't admit guilt.
Him trying to, and I think they rejected. I think I just seen that they rejected the prosecution rejected the motion, or the judge rejected the motion, I think. But it's a trip how that was for the tax evasion charge. Now, in order for them to get the prove the tax evasion, they had to prove where the income came from.
It's not true.
Now, that it was damn. What was the thing?
You said something that was factually inaccurate.
No, whatever. Shit. The money that he owed was $5 million. The money he owed was $5 million. So,
actually, I thought it was like 1.5, but he paid $2.
Man, you'll be boss. Okay. Anyway, now I just personally believe that Kamala is going to have to pardon him, because Trump ain't going to pardon him if he get elected. Now, you have to think that we were centimeters, inches away from not having an election.
Well, you said we're not going to have one at all. So
okay. Now, I said that I do not believe
No, that's
that we
not what
would
you said.
have one.
No, you said we
No,
weren't.
man,
It was some
look,
spiritual thing,
man,
and if the
I'm
spiritual
trying
eyes
to be
can't see
nice.
it, then the ears can't hear
I'm
it.
trying to be
But
nice
you did,
when I
you
say,
did
because
say
I
it.
mean, you just be lying.
You said it. You said it.
That motherfucker
You said
said
it. I remember when you said it, and I was like,
you
"You mean that
lying.
you
Just like
don't
you was doing that,
believe
like you
that it's
didn't
gonna
say
happen?"
how
And you
you
was like,
didn't
"This ain't
say
about what
that
I
you was
believe and
doing
what I don't
giving
believe.
accounts
If
of
you, if some
exactly
people, if the
inaccurate.
spiritual eyes can't hear it, then the spiritual ears can't feel it, and that's the way it
But,
is, or whatever the term
but,
is that you say." And
but,
so you were saying
but,
you know for a
but,
spiritual fact that it's not gonna
but,
happen, and so I accepted
but,
your spiritual
but, you
factology
are a
and
liar. You
and
are a liar. You man, I
don't be
mean,
mad
you
at
was just
me because you
blatantly,
said it.
you blatantly telling a lie on me, and you
You s-
and please, people, you have to wonder why he just blatantly telling that
Cause
lie
I'm
on me.
not
That's a
lying. I'm not.
you
You
are
said it. You said it.
lying.
Now,
You
what you
lying.
could say is, okay, I was wrong.
No,
But
I'm not
you're not
gonna
gonna
say
say
you
it.
lying.
But
You a
I'm telling you, that
motherfucking
was
liar.
what you said.
I'm saying you a motherfucking liar.
Okay,
That's what I'm gonna say.
all right, let's move
You
past
a
that.
motherfucking liar.
Okay, let's move
Nigga,
past
I
that.
ain't say no shit
Let's
like
move.
that,
You did,
man.
but let's move past that.
I ain't no,
Come on, let's
no.
move past that. Don't get stuck there.
Anyway,
What I want to ask you,
anyway.
is now that Hunter Biden is getting ready to, either take the plea or go to court, is that a victory for y'all? Because for y'all that was the most important thing, like back
Who the fuck
in
is y'all?
January, February,
Who
March,
the
that
fuck
was
is
the
y'all?
most important thing on the
Let me
planet. So
ask you
now
a
are y'all
question.
happy?
I mean, I gotta ask you a question.
Will you
Who the
answer
fuck
mine
is
first?
y'all? I don't understand the question because who the fuck is y'all?
Well, y'all would be you and people who thought like you and who
No,
were saying the
I
things
mean,
that you were saying.
no, don't nobody talk like me because I'm me. Remember you asked me if we can have a civilized conversation like normal people, and I said no because I'm not fucking normal.
Right, and there's a
So,
lot
so,
of abnormal people like you who were saying the
people
same
don't
stuff,
talk like
the
me.
same
I
abnormal
talk
stuff
like
that you were
myself.
saying about
So,
Hunter Biden. And I was
so
trying to
I'll
explain to
continue.
y'all that don't matter because he's not the
Nigga,
president. But y'all were
I,
saying that it was the
no,
most important thing in the world, Hunter Biden. And that Hunter Biden gonna get caught, and then we gonna impeach
God
Joe
damn,
Biden,
boy.
and then Trump gonna win, and blah, blah,
Emmanuel,
blah. But Hunter Biden
Emmanuel,
was the most important
Emmanuel,
thing.
Fox,
You don't
Emmanuel,
remember that?
Emmanuel Fox.
You don't remember that?
Hey, who was that said it was gonna be some shit today? Oh,
Huh?
man, boy, man, you just be on
I'm
that
just
clown
asking,
shit.
are you happy now? Hunter Biden is
But,
going to court.
nigga,
Does that mean
nigga,
does that make you happy? You guys got what you wanted.
nigga, I don't get what the fuck did I get?
Hunter
I don't
Biden going
understand.
to potentially stand in trial for his crimes.
He was gonna stand trial anyway. That was hey man, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Well,
Hey,
I'm just
listen.
asking.
So
Ron, you know that you made the biggest deal about Hunter Biden and his laptop and Burisma
hey,
and
I
all
was
of that
just
kind of
hey,
stuff. You
I
that
was just
that was the
hey,
biggest
hey,
thing. That
hey,
was all
no.
y'all had to talk about.
Emmanuel, it was the biggest thing. It wasn't the fact that the laptop and what was in it. The biggest thing was like uh uh Mark Zuckerberg just said, and Taibbi when what you call it bought Twitter. All those platforms were lying on behalf of the Biden administration, and they were blocking some key things that the Biden administration wanted to get out there. I was saying that the laptop was real when you were saying it was Russian disinformation.
No, I wasn't.
And
I
it
never said
wasn't
that.
real.
I never said that.
Oh, nigga.
No, I
Now
didn't.
you no now
No, I didn't. See that there's
now
certain
you
things
don't
that you
remember
can't
that.
get off because I know me and I know how I
What?
talk. And what I was doing was I was asking you,
What?
did you have
Emmanuel,
proof that it was real? I didn't say it wasn't. You said Hunter Biden admitted that it was, and I said no, he didn't admit that, and I broke down exactly. Remember at the beginning of this call where we talked about the Alford plea, and you said that's an admission of guilt, and I said no, it's not an admission of guilt. It's an admission that the prosecutor has the facts to get a guilty verdict. You don't remember that? That's the way I talk. So I know I didn't say for a fact something that I didn't know for a fact. I know that to be the case. But with all of that said, so when is Joe Biden going to be impeached? Because that was what y'all said was the next step. Joe Biden is getting impeached. How did that one work out?
Hey, you gonna switch it up on me?
I'm just asking. These are just questions, man. I'm trying to have as close to a regular conversation with an abnormal person as I possibly can.
Talking to a regular motherfucker.
And I know that you said at some point that that Joe Biden was gonna be impeached, and I'm wondering whatever happened to that.
Nah, you know what? You know what?
I know a lot of what's. I don't know which what you're talking about.
What's the trippy is you don't. Now I ain't got to stand up for myself because I know what you said and I know what you didn't say. I know what I'm saying. And what's the trippy is you dancing around and shit.
What am I dancing around? Look,
the
unlike you, Ron, if you ask me a question, I
the
answer the question. I don't have a problem answering the questions that you ask me.
Emanuel. So,
Ronald,
you dancing around that shit.
So ask me the question. Ask me the question.
No, I ain't gotta ask you no question. I ain't gotta ask you no question.
What am I dancing around then?
No. You saying all this other type shit, and you first of all, you ain't answering my question.
What's the question?
You made sure people forgot about the question.
What is the question?
Wait a minute. You do that shit all the time.
I want to answer the question.
Hey, man, you try to dominate the conversation, but you with that full of shit rhetoric, and it just be rhetoric, and then.
So ask me the question.
So what? No, because you gonna do fast on that shit.
No, I'm gonna do what I always do. I'm gonna answer it.
Yeah, that's fast. That's fast. So what I'm saying is, it ain't too late.
For
Kamala to take up the presidency. It ain't too late because
hold on. It ain't too late for her to do what?
Somebody.
I didn't hear you, Ron. I didn't. I didn't understand what you said.
It's not too late.
For
Biden to give up the presidency.
Okay.
And Kamala to take over the presidency.
So that's what you think is going to happen.
And since Biden said that he will not pardon his son, and Karine Jean-Pierre just said that about an hour ago on Air Force One that his stance would not change, that he would not pardon him. I guarantee you, like I said.
Hold on, just be clear. You're saying you guarantee. You're not saying I believe, I think, I feel. You're saying I guarantee. Go ahead.
Motherfucker, you know what it's just.
You said I guarantee. I just want to be clear. You guarantee what?
Let you tell me to make my words. What the fuck you want to do?
What? I'm using just regular English language, bro.
You ain't gonna correct. Hey, you know.
What is the guarantee, man?
I ain't called back into Lincoln's show. I ain't called back in the Lincoln show no more because he tried to make me say Kamala or Kamala or whatever the fuck her name is.
What is the guarantee?
I ain't changing my motherfucking words for you.
I'm
So
asking, what is the guarantee?
if somebody want to read deep into that shit, and he guaranteed, you
What
know
are
what?
you
Grow the
Will you
fuck up.
please finish the thought?
Anyway, 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 she got she has to be president in order to pardon him.
Right.
It and I was saying, I guarantee
Guarantee.
that that um in order for him to give up the election and let Kamala stand in, I guarantee you
Guarantee.
that he said that they had to pardon Hunter Biden. The reason being, of course, he knew
That's the
he
worst
could
guarantee
pardon
ever.
him. He knew he could pardon him right then, but he couldn't.
Just so I'm clear,
I don't
saying
believe.
all you're
I don't
saying
be-
is you
I
said
don't believe. I don't believe.
I guarantee that he said that in order for him to be pardoned, she got to pardon him. That's not a guarantee, bro. What can you do with that?
Well, you can let me finish my motherfucking thought, so you can go ahead and get to the end of it. So anyway, uh, uh, she, she has to win that election in
Right.
order for
To be president, yes.
to be president, in order to
Pardon
Hunter Biden.
Hunter Biden, yes.
The thing about it is,
Uh-huh.
you seen them try to assassinate him. And you know that shit. What?
I don't know who them is, but
state.
okay.
Yeah, the dark state, and I know you don't believe in the dark state.
The dark
ain't
state?
no such thing. But you know.
You mean the deep state?
Deep state. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Deep state.
Okay.
You know, they actually tried to kill that man, and we were centimeters from not having an election in November, like I said, and it is not done yet. I mean, the reason that they can't let him get to the presidency because he would have the ability to go back and make and take and do an investigation of all those lies. Remember, the DNC and the Hillary Clinton campaign were fined for creating the Steele dossier. They were fined.
I don't actually believe, and I have to go back and recheck that, but I believe. Can I reply? I believe that the
$8,000 and one
can I
was
finish?
fined $5,000.
Can I get a word in on my show? I believe that
you-
the Steele dossier was initiated by Republican operatives, so you can't say that the DNC and Hillary were responsible for the Steele dossier
paid
when
the
it was
motherfuckers.
initiated by Republicans.
They paid them. They paid. Oh, shit. Hey, man. See, what's the trip is, and a whole lot of people in the on your platform right now probably don't even know that the DNC and Hillary Clinton was fined for that shit. That shit is just crazy. That shit is crazy. You know, the Biden administration took your job. When I say they took your job, them motherfuckers, them deceiving motherfuckers, had Facebook and Twitter telling people that we had to wear masks and all that shit, and
now we're on vaccines.
The vaccination protects people.
What does this have to do with Hunter Biden taking an Alfred plea?
If you didn't, listen, the Biden administration has stolen our democracy. They stolen, our freedom of speech. Just like that.
You talking right now?
What?
You are talking right now.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have freedom of speech. Nobody about to come
No,
and get you for what you saying.
no. Hey, if I had freedom of speech, would have flagged that bitch ass shit that I sent you?
You think that the United States government,
No, wait,
wait,
wait, wait,
you
wait, wait,
believe
wait,
the
wait,
United
wait,
States
wait. I
government
asked
is
you a question. I
monitoring your
asked you a question.
Facebook
I
posts?
asked you a question. I asked you a question. That bitch ass little shit that I sent you, that little post.
The government didn't take
They
that
flagged that.
down.
Wait. They flagged that shit.
Not the
And
government.
wait a minute.
Oh my God.
Wait a minute. You say it's not the government, but say it's not the government, but the government oversee regulations about them and
Oversee regulations
and
about what?
about Twitter, social media companies. Period.
What regulations do the government have over
They,
Facebook posts?
they they've been having congressional hearings about that
Okay, they've
for
been
the
having
last 3,
hearings. I'm
4
asking
years.
what
Oh, fuck.
regulations are
Hey
in
man, no,
place.
you know what? You know
What
what?
regulations are in
No,
place?
you don't no. You don't have me getting you having don't have me getting all twisted up
You
because
the one
you
brought
won't
up
answer the
government
question.
regulations of your
Nigga, you
Facebook
didn't answer
posts.
the fucking question because I said that little bitch ass shit that I posted. Do you think it's free? We have free speech. Do you think we have free speech?
Yes.
When the government censored all of that shit on COVID and all of that, you think
The government
you
did
think
not
it's
take your
free?
post down.
No, wait, no, I didn't say that.
You did.
No, I didn't. I said when the government censored all that shit on Twitter and on Facebook.
Who censored
When
it?
they censored,
Who censored it?
the government censored it. The Biden administration censored it.
What regulation and what body did they put in place to censor it?
You asking me a question,
Yes.
and I asked you a question. Answer my fucking question.
I've
first.
answered every question that you've asked.
No, I asked you.
You've not answered like a single one that I've asked. But I've answered every question that you asked.
Emmanuel.
Ronald.
So if they censored, what
That's a big if.
people were saying, if they they proved it. Man, look,
That's a big
they
if.
proved it. Mark Zuckerberg said it. Mark Zuckerberg said it.
What regulation did they use?
Taibbi and Elon Musk said it.
What regulation did they use? I'm asking for an education, bro. What regulation, what government regulation did they use?
I said free speech.
They gotta use some sort of regulation if they're regulating free speech.
Emmanuel, you ain't gonna twist me all up like
I'm not trying to twist you up. I'm asking for information.
No, you ain't gonna answer me. You ain't gonna ask me.
I've answered every question that you've asked. Ask the question. Ask the question. Go ahead.
I don't even hear you, nigga.
Ask the
I don't
question.
even hear you,
Ask
nigga.
the question.
I don't even hear you.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Ask the question.
Okay. When I said all of that shit about Twitter, all of that shit about Facebook, the owner of Facebook, the CEO.
Oh my
of
God.
Facebook,
Your
owner of
questions
Facebook,
take too
said that-
long. What's
said
the
that-
question?
Said that. No, you won't even get me. You won't even let me get that shit out.
You've been on for 31 minutes. Ask the damn question.
Hey, do you think we have free speech based upon?
I answered that. I said yes.
No, you said.
How you gonna tell me what I didn't say?
Yeah, but you were saying yes based upon the question that I asked you about that post, and you.
What's
didn't
the new
answer
question? What's the new question?
No, like you said. I've been on 31 minutes. I was just trying to give you your shit. Like what you call it said. It's gonna be some shit today. I just wanted to make sure I gave it. You have a good one, man.
All right.
Hey, Emmanuel.
Yes, sir.
Emmanuel.
Yes, sir.
I'm great. Smoke some weed and I'm bragging.
Oh boy, that guy. I'll tell you, he ate up. He ate up. But yeah, Hunter Biden. Hold on, where's that story? Where's the Hunter Biden story? Did I take it down? It's easy enough to find. Hunter Biden is now offering to take Alford plea. He's offering to take an Alford plea. The prosecutor says, I want to make something crystal clear. The United States opposes an Alford plea. All right. The arrangement. Alford plea. And he would accept whatever sentence Scarcy eventually hands down. I'm looking because I want to give y'all what it's pretty much what I said, but I want to read it so don't nobody believe that I made it up. But I don't see it in the body of this article anymore. So the name Alford plea is taken from North Carolina v. Alford. An Alford plea, also known as best interest plea, registers a formal admission of guilt. So, Ron, you were right there. It is technically, I guess, an admission of guilt. I was wrong. You were right. Towards charges in criminal court, while the defendant simultaneously expresses their innocence towards those same charges. An Alford plea skips the full process of a criminal trial because the defendant agrees to accept all the ramifications of a guilty verdict. So there you go. That for all the people who say, man, you never admit when he's wrong. If I'm wrong, I admit it. That's a part of being me. It helps me stay right. So, but that was their big thing. Hunter Biden. Y'all remember for months and months and months, everything was Hunter Biden, Hunter Biden, Hunter Biden. Vote for Trump because of Hunter Biden. Vote for Trump because of Hunter Biden. Everybody remember that. I'm not making that up. And their next step was Joe Biden is going to be impeached. Remember when they were doing the impeachment inquiry? So he going to get impeached. You don't do no inquiry if you don't have the evidence. And I remember telling these people, like, no, you do the inquiry, basically to ask questions to see if there is some evidence. How they doing the inquiry? They got the evidence. They got the evidence. They doing the inquiry. Oh, he going to be impeached. Oh, he going to be impeached. The inquiry is over. He wasn't impeached. Nat says his dad will pardon him before he leaves office. His dad said he wouldn't. I can't say that he will or that he won't. I can just say that he has said that he won't, and reiterated that he won't. So we'll see what happens. But the man said he's not going to pardon him. So we'll have to see what happens. Ron says the inquiry is not over. It's over. They issued a report and everything. LaDonna says, you know he will. I do not know that he will. I do not know that he will. You may believe that he will. And y'all, again, I keep telling y'all, using these little things help keep me from being wrong. Y'all should work on using them as well. Instead of saying, I guarantee that Joe Biden is going to step down and make Kamala the president before his term is over. Say, I wholeheartedly believe that Joe Biden is going to step down and make Kamala the president. Then that way you're not mad because you guaranteed something that didn't happen. And then as it gets closer and closer, then you can't be like, well, I didn't say that it was going. I said I believe. No, you didn't say you believe. So when you say to me, you know that's going to happen, I'm like, no, I don't know that's going to happen. You may believe it with every fiber of your being, but there's a difference between knowing something and believing something. Ron talk about F wholeheartedly. I said I guarantee. You gonna deny that you said you guarantee, just like you denying that you said that you know some spiritual way you know that we not gonna have an election, and some spiritual way you know that there's gonna be a terrorist attack, at least 2 terrorist attacks in the United States before the election. You guaranteed both of those things. There's some spiritual guarantee, and if I didn't agree with you, then the ear of the spirit can't hear the mind of the spirit, and you know, whatever else it was that you said. But all of this super duper important stuff, and I remember telling all of these people, who cares if Hunter Biden gets found guilty? Who cares about the laptop? Who cares about him doing drugs in his private parts and all of that kind of stuff? That's got nothing to do with the presidency. Now y'all worried. Now y'all worried. Because y'all boy, Donald Trump, is worried. Oh, Ron says, we don't care about the laptop. Y'all cared about the laptop when y'all thought that was a path to victory for Donald Trump. That was all y'all cared about when y'all thought it was the path to the victory for Donald Trump. But now that y'all see, hold on, that laptop is not going to win Donald Trump the presidency. Now y'all got to come up with something else. Now that y'all, I really don't want to start. My say they still talking about the damn laptop. Yes, they are still talking about the laptop. They're still talking about Hunter Biden being found guilty. And in their minds, somehow this is going to be a big win for Donald Trump. His poll numbers are not great. This is going to be a really, really close election. Ron said, you still talking about January 6th because that actually involves Donald Trump himself. To that point, it would be different if Eric Trump was the only one who called for people to do bad stuff on January 6th. And then I'm talking about it like, well, Eric Trump said that people should march to the Capitol and fight, and he encouraged people to break into the Capitol. I would expect Republicans to be like, that was Eric. Donald didn't do that. Donald didn't tell people to go to the Capitol and fight like hell. Donald didn't do that. Donald didn't encourage and incite a riot. Donald didn't do that. But Donald actually did that. So that's why you talk about the stuff that the person that's running did. I'm not saying don't talk about the laptop because it's old. I'm saying, why are y'all talking about that in relation to the election? That's not Joe. And now it's definitely not Kamala. Y'all still talking about it as if that's going to win Donald Trump the election. And that's what, I mean, you said you're not normal. And I believe you when you say that. And I'm not even saying that in an insulting way. I'm not even saying that in an insulting way. I believe you're not normal. I believe a lot of people who believe as you believe are not normal people. Because I don't know that normal people like believe all the stuff they read on the dark web. I really don't. Y'all see where all of these schools now are rolling back their diversity and inclusion programs? It's just crazy to me how people kind of just blow with the wind. I really do need somebody to explain to me. Y'all all know I'm slow. I really do need somebody to explain to me what is wrong with diversity. Like, how is diversity bad? Just normal people. You too, Ron. How is diversity bad? How is equity a bad thing? How is inclusion bad? I think it's bad that you need a special department to make sure that there is diversity, equity, and inclusion. That I believe that you shouldn't need that. But I do understand, the world that I live in. I understand the world that I live in. So, okay. But look, y'all, they are doing their very best. They are doing their very best to create a world where diversity is a bad word. That's what they're doing. They want diversity to be a bad word. They want equity to be a bad word. They want inclusion to be a bad word. And I just, for the life of me, I don't understand it. I understand it, but I don't understand it. I know that don't make sense. I get that there are people out there with a mindset of we have to preserve this for us. Close it off and don't let nobody else in. So that everybody thinks, everybody in the circle of power and influence, thinks the way we think. Everybody in the circle of power and influence looks the way we look. And only people in the circle of influence are influential. That part, I understand that there are people who feel that way. I guess I just don't really understand why and or how. But like hatred and bigotry and stuff like that, I've never thoroughly understood it. That's why, like yesterday, I'm not big on the idea of, get rid of, I see some immigrants in my neighborhood and they got to go. Why? Because they don't look like me. I've never really understood that. Let's deport them all. I've never understood that. I know it exists. I don't feel that way. What Nate said that'll make me a globalist. It makes me a globalist. But I feel like a Chinese person, a Japanese person, a Venezuelan, a Mexican, a Haitian, a Zimbabwean, a Ghanaian. I know somebody from Ghana who keep telling me that's not what they're called, but you just don't understand. A Ghanaian, all of them. A German. Now, I think they should all be able to live together in peace. I think they should all be able to live together in peace. Y'all can say what y'all want to say. Ghanaian. I'm telling you, that's what it is. Anybody tell you different, they trying to fool you. And I'm pretty sure it's El Salvadorite. But the point is, we should all be able to come here and or anywhere and live together in peace. And not people be huddled around trying to keep them out. Get back, get back. You can't experience this freedom. This ain't for you. Get back. Oh, he coming in over here. Get back. Get back. Why? Because you don't think like us. You don't look like us. Your customs ain't the same as ours. Get back. If we let you in the circle, then you'll be able to help decide who else come in the circle. And next thing you know, the circle is going to be all these other people that don't look like us. Because that's really what it is. That's really what it is. If I let you in the circle, you might let some of your friends in the circle, and then y'all will get to decide who else gets in the circle along with us. And next thing you know, we not the majority in the circle, or we can't dominate the circle the way we want to dominate the circle. I'll let you in the circle. I will let your black A in the circle. If I feel like you ain't gonna let nobody else's black A in the circle. That's why you see those guys, Tim Scott and Byron Donalds and all of those guys. That's why they ascend to the level that they ascend to. Because they're pretty sure I'm going to let you in the circle to say, I've always hated the term tokenism, but that's what it is. I'm going to let you in the circle because I believe that you don't want to see none of these other people in the circle who don't share, you know what I'm saying, you know. But we got 4 blacks in the circle. Right, but them 4 blacks in the circle, like Donald Trump said, they're different than those other blacks. He one of the good ones. Not like those other ones. See that guy right there? Yeah, he one of the smart ones. The rest of them, She thought he didn't say it. She thought he didn't say it. They are still using that language. And I know for a minute it seemed like we had gotten away from using that kind of language. It seemed like we had gotten away from using that kind of language. See him, he one of the smart ones, not like them other ones. And Ron is saying Donald Trump didn't say that. See if I can find it. See if I can find Donald Trump. See if I can find it real quick. I don't want to watch the whole hour and whatever. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Ron says I'm wrong. Ron says Donald Trump did not say that he was one of the smart ones. See if I can pull it up here. Because some people, people don't always believe when you say stuff. Now y'all give me a minute. Let me see if I can get this, because this is included in somebody else, in somebody else's thing. I hate to play other people's stuff. Hold on. See if I can. Will you let me interact this time? Hold on, y'all. I think I'm almost there.
The darkness of bipolar depression made me feel like I was losing interest in the things I love.
Check it out. And he immediately, the first thing he did was approve the Nord Stream pipeline. And
Well, turning now to the latest out of Washington.
Oh, y'all didn't hear
President
it?
Harris giving herself some separation from President Biden with a proposal from her on.
Oh, hold on. I don't can't believe y'all didn't hear
We got our
it.
very own Ben Werschel. Ben, thanks so much for joining us here. So
And y'all
I'm
can't
curious
hear
if
that?
you can break down the key differences in this policy proposal versus what we know the Biden administration had already had in place,
Oh,
and how
this is
that
annoying.
plays into how Harris is sort of.
Wait, for real, y'all couldn't hear that? Y'all couldn't hear the audio? Why is it doing that? It's showing me that the audio is going to y'all.
Well, turning now to the latest out of Washington, Vice President Harris giving herself some separation from President Biden with a proposal from her on taxing the ultra wealthy. Here with the latest, we've got our very own Ben Werschel. Ben, thanks so much for joining us here. So I'm curious if you can break down the key differences in this policy.
It's showing to me that y'all should have heard it. Now, it played with no sound. Okay, hold on. See if I can do this.
Well, turning now to the latest out of Washington, Vice President Harris giving herself some separation from President Biden with a proposal.
Stop. I had to redo it. Okay, hold on.
No matter who you are, there are times it can be tough to be yourself when you have severe
He's already a superstar, but he's a superstar of the future. Byron Donalds, Florida. Wow, that's nice to have you here. That's good. He's great. He's great. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. That one is smart. You have smart ones and you have some that aren't quite so good. But we have a group of people that are really great. But
that one is smart. You got smart ones and you got ones that ain't so good. I know you can't see it because for whatever reason, this thing ain't working right. So you got smart ones and you got ones that ain't so good. He one of the smart ones. They're still saying that stuff, y'all. They're still saying it. We got people running around talking about racism don't exist no more and all of that kind of stuff. And what, for real, we thought we were moving away from that. We really did. We thought we were moving away from that. Where people, didn't say, he's one of the good ones. And, But some people just usher that stuff back in. And when you can usher that stuff out and other stuff back in, you can get rid of the D, the E, and the I. CK.
Hey. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, CK. How are you?
Man, I want to take this opportunity to send a rest in peace to Rich Homie Quan. He just passed away.
I heard.
I think he passed it. You heard about Rich Homie dying?
I did.
Oh, man. Oh, it's horrible because, his pops got shot up a couple years back 5 times with the 357 and he survived. So this has got to be heartbreaking. You know what I mean? For hip-hop to lose such a pillar of the community.
Well, I don't know if he was a pillar in the community or not. I don't know much about him. I know he was a rapper, and apparently he was popular because I know his name. And apparently he did drugs. That's really about all that I can tell you about him.
Why would you say he did drugs? My God, what kind of accusation
Didn't you
is
say?
that,
Didn't you say he died of a drug overdose?
An apparent drug overdose, possibly homicide, sir.
Okay.
You know the trial going on right now, right? So the guy just testified that he shot up his daddy's crib, then he mysteriously passes away.
Oh, wait a minute. That's the one that's on trial, down there in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Where his supposed to be in a gang or something like that?
Yes, Young Thug. It wasn't him.
Okay, no. I was about to say that. No, okay. I That's why I say, yeah, no, that's not him. Rich Homie Quan, Young Thug is the one that's on trial. So what is Rich Homie Quan on trial for?
No, he's not on trial, sir. He's a possible victim. He's
You
the
just
guy
said he
that
was on trial.
No,
Maybe
no,
I
no,
misunderstood.
no.
Hold on. Maybe I
Yeah,
misunderstood.
yeah. No, Young Thug is on trial for doing all type of miscellaneous down there, and he is a possible victim. He was ran out of hip hop after his father was shot up.
So you're
And then he came
suggesting
back.
that maybe Rich Homie Quan was not on drugs. He was killed, injected with an overdose of drugs to silence him.
Possibly, or just lace it with fentanyl, lace the weed with fentanyl, anything. You could
And
just
then he
put it
would
on the
still
dog.
be doing drugs.
Yeah, possibly. I'm saying possibly, but not. We can't. That could just be the outcome. But if you get poisoned and then they say you died of overdose, that don't really mean you died of overdose, right?
No, I think it does.
No, that means what they call it, foul. What's the foul thing?
I think if you overdose, that means you overdosed.
Sir, you don't do drugs. So if you died of fucking drugs, people gonna say that shit sounds suspicious. That's what I'm saying, sir. Right?
Yes.
Don't you understand?
So you're suggesting that he didn't do drugs, that he was killed by drugs, but it wasn't him intentionally ingesting any drugs.
There it is. There it is.
Okay, that's all I was
even
asking.
if you are,
That's all I was asking. Go ahead.
oh yeah, even if you are a drug user, you still could be murdered and made it to look like a drug overdose too. Don't forget about that.
But I'm not. That's why I said the only things that I knew about him was his name, that he was a rapper, and apparently that he do drugs because he died of an overdose. But you shot that down and you said he don't do drugs. He was murdered.
Yeah, well, I can't put the house on that he didn't do drugs. I got it. You're right about that. I can't say that, but just in case he was, foul play. That's the word I was looking for. Foul play.
Okay.
It's possible. It's a lot of bodies dropping, but I know his family is devastated. 34 years old, Livingston. How do you feel about 34?
How do I feel about 34?
Is that too young to die, or is that just right?
Well, no, people shouldn't be dying at 34. Not in 2024, no.
Because your kids still be kids, right? You ain't get to raise them up.
Well, just because 34 is pretty young to be dying in 2024. And I am
Hell
making the
yeah.
distinction because, like, back in 2000 BC, 34 was probably a ripe old age. But in 2024, that's way too young to be dying.
Oh, you saying it used to be a senior citizen age?
Well, I don't know. But, I mean, a lot of diseases and stuff, they didn't have, like, penicillin and such. They didn't cook their meat all the way. You know what I'm saying? All kind of stuff could have happened back in the day. So, yeah.
But that's a good reason, not like yourself, not to do drugs, because even if that was to happen, people would not believe it, right? Like they said, Livingston died of a cocaine overdose. Your family probably be the first ones to defend your honor.
Well, my family would know that that's not true because they know I don't do drugs. I think most people watching, if that came out, they would be like, well, I knew he was lying about not doing drugs this whole time. You know what I'm saying? People like to believe the worst about people, but my family would know for a fact, like, no, he didn't die of no cocaine overdose. There's definitely something suspicious in the game because he don't do drugs. So, yeah, the people who know me would know, but, a lot of the people watching right now would be like, see, I knew he was just talking all that ass about not doing drugs. See, everything come to light.
I just want you to know, man, all these people dropping and dying, they all not what you think they are. We got Johnny Cochran gone. He was poisoned. They gave him brain cancer, Livingston. He was a big fixture. I don't know if you remember him.
I remember him, but I'm not sure that he was can you give someone brain cancer from poisoning them?
Sir, with the technology we have gotten to in 2024, you could pretty much give these people anything.
I don't know if that's true.
So you think he was natural?
I can accept certain things. I can accept. I can accept that people die naturally, and brain cancer sounds like one of those things that'll kill you.
Did you accept Bob Marley's lung cancer death?
Well, I don't know much about Bob Marley, but did he smoke?
Tons by the boatload.
Then it sounds reasonable that a person who smoked could develop, lung cancer. That sounds reasonable.
Oh, that sounds reasonable. We could poison his ass with lung cancer and nobody would question it. Died 31?
But if you
31 years old?
Again, I don't know much about Bob Marley, but you just said he smoked tons. If somebody who smoked tons, it seems reasonable that they could develop lung cancer.
For bud? For weed?
Yes, from smoke. Smoke, inhaling smoke. My understanding from the people and the doctors and whatnot that I've talked to, inhaling smoke is not healthy, which is why I was kind of telling Ron, like when he was talking about smoking weed, and then I was saying you can get the CBD or whatever infused things. You can get those to have the effect. Like I was watching a show where they were talking about legalizing marijuana, but they had these children, and the children were suffering like from cancer and stuff like that. And, you know, they were dealing with a lot of pain. And what they were doing was they were extracting CBD, and they were giving the kids like gummies or whatever. They were giving them CBD. They weren't smoking weed, but they were giving them CBD to help them deal with the pain. And they said that it was really being very helpful to them. So you can use CBD for treatment of pain without actually smoking it. And I don't know, of course, the adverse effects of CBD. I ain't never studied none of that kind of stuff. But I believe wholeheartedly that inhaling smoke can damage your body.
So Ving Rhames inhaling straight through the nose without the mouth, would that save his lungs, or his lungs still getting hit?
Well, even if you breathe through your nose, it still kind of hits your lungs.
This fool said he took the weed to the nostrils.
I'm sorry, somebody correct me. THC, not CBD. Thank you, DeAndre. THC, not CBD. THC.
Yeah.
Thank you for the correction.
Yeah, this fool inhaling it in front of the kids. Like, look, this is how you don't get cancer. He taking it straight to the nose at the Scared Straight program. Ving Rhames about 12 years ago. I said, you're a damn fool. That shit's still getting to you.
I'm not sure if I've never seen that, so I'm not buying into that's what happened.
Yeah, but you remember he got out the game. Arby's done paid that fool so much money. He said, hell with Hollywood, I can just eat Arby's for the rest of my damn life. You see all them Arby's commercials he got?
I've seen Arby's commercials. Yes, they got the meats.
Hey, that fool that became a superstar for Arby's. You ain't seen him in the movie.
I don't think he's not doing movies because he got the Arby's gig. I think he's probably still out there trying to get work and working and stuff, maybe in like smaller independent stuff. I'm sure if Marvel came to him and said, we want you to play this role and we're going to pay you $20 million, he would say, sure. And they would, well, you can't do the Arby's commercials no more. He would probably be like, okay, I'll still take the $20 million in the recurring role. So I don't think he like, man, I'm getting rich off, we got the meats. I don't think that's his mindset.
What? We haven't seen a movie in 10 years, sir. A TV show, nothing. Where this man been at? Arby's.
I'm guessing
stuff in his freaking face.
My guess is he's been in stuff, just maybe not stuff that went mainstream. I don't think he gave up acting to say, we have the meats.
What they call them thing? When you get them residentials in Vegas, what they call them thing? Usher now.
Residencies, them, yes.
Yeah, he got a residency at Arby's. When you see them fools in Las Vegas, you don't hear from them for years because they making so much bread at the residency Arby's.
No, it doesn't work that way. Many times when they get the residencies, a lot of them aren't, they kind of past their prime anyway.
Oh, I got you.
So, yeah, like New Edition ain't dropped a hit in a minute. So, yeah, you get the residency, and that's good, steady money. So you take that. But it ain't like, you know what I'm saying, they taking, who's a popular artist right now?
Megan Thee Stallion.
They not giving Megan Thee Stallion a Vegas residency, and then she like, I ain't recording no more. I'm finished because I'm playing Vegas. No.
Right. Taylor Swift, like.
Yeah, Taylor Swift ain't quitting because of a Vegas residency. It's not happening.
I feel you, brother. Man, about to give me an Arby's melt now, shit. All this damn Arby's talk. I appreciate you, brother, man. Keep hope alive, like the great Jesse Jackson said.
All right.
He called the message.
All right, CK.
Yes, sir.
Oh, CK. I like CK. I don't care what y'all say. I like CK. Y'all some haters. CK is all right with me. Let me see. Jeannie says, but New Edition sells out arenas. I'm not sure what that had to do with really anything. I mean, if you just think about it, just from look, I can sit here, live here, go out on that same stage every night, do my show, and then go home and sleep in my bed with my family, go to my friend's house down the street, all of that kind of stuff. Or, and get paid either the same or more money. Or, I can pay all of these people to pack it up, hop on a bus, travel the country, do the show, go to a hotel, goddamn, go host an after party, and, get back on the bus and travel 12 hours to get to the next show. Which do you want to do? Which do you want to do? Give me the money. Let the people come to me, and then me go perform, as opposed to me having to go to them and spend all of the extra money to go to them and perform. It's reasonable, business-wise. It's reasonable. Twin.
What's up, little man?
Hey, how you doing, sir?
You ain't got to holler in my ear, man. I'm here.
Oh, my God. Twin, may I ask you a question? Can we have a reasonable, rational, non-emotional conversation today?
It depends on how this conversation, how my emotional ass be. Sometimes my bipolar kick in, sometimes it don't.
I need, just for me, can you work on controlling your emotions?
Who are you? I can't control nothing. Whatever happened, happened.
Oh. Okay.
What, you got Jehovah's Witness or somebody listening or something?
I don't even understand the question. All right, what you want to talk about? What's on your mind?
You got Jehovah's Witness or the FBI listening or something?
No. I was just hoping that we could reason together. That's it.
Man, no, you can't. I try to keep peace with you, have a decent conversation, but hey, sometimes it drifts off to the left or right.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try to keep it in the middle. What's on your mind?
I don't trust you. Think I trust you? I don't trust you like the government.
Oh, you are trying to drift me to the left or to the right, and I'm not gonna go with it. What's on your mind?
No, I don't trust you, man.
All right.
You sometimes, man. 1 minute you cool, next minute you wanna raise somebody's blood pressure to cuss you out. I caught on to your little homie.
No, I don't want nobody to cuss. Everybody should not cuss like me.
No, you. Oh, like you, huh? King of talk. Hey, I ain't never heard nobody catching cancer off of no smoking weed, man. Get that up out of here. Now, the history of nicotism, I ain't never heard of nothing like that.
Well, just because you didn't hear it doesn't mean that it didn't happen.
All the people I've been around and everything, man, I ain't never heard nothing like that.
Again, just because you didn't hear it don't mean it didn't happen.
And I ain't never saw nobody or heard nobody. Yo, he called cancer smoking weed. No.
Okay.
Weed is like believe weed helps a lot of things out for you
I believe
on
the
your health.
THC in there. I'll take the medical profession's word for it that it can
I
be.
mean, yeah,
The
that medical,
the THC
that
can be
medical.
helpful, but you don't have to smoke it in order for it to help you. You can ingest it another way.
No, some people don't want to ingest it. They want to smoke it, man.
I get that
Some
people
people,
don't want to, but they don't need to.
well, that's your opinion, whatever. Just because you don't smoke, you think somebody gonna listen to you? No, they gonna listen to you.
I think it's the medical community's opinion on it, not mine.
Yeah, whatever. But it do help though. That medical marijuana, it do help because I know this older lady. She probably related to Rod, whatever. She got back problems and everything, issues with her back, and she got a medical card. I said, let me try that. So I tried, and hey, that stuff really worked though. The medical stuff, that weed that she got. But I never heard nobody dying of cancer. You know, have cancer smoking. That I ain't never heard of. You know. But hey man, you said I was tripping about. I ain't tripping, but I don't get it, man. I was thinking about what they said on the radio. I mean, on TV and everything. This guy, the little 14-year-old, he planted this stuff or had problems a year ago. And you mean to tell me y'all just blow past it, man? And here it is. He got shoot the school up. Don't you feel like that's kind of odd or something, man?
Say that again.
I said a little 14-year-old.
Uh-huh.
I was hearing about it. He had problems and everything a year ago in school.
Yeah, that apparently there was a threat made to the school, and they traced the threat to a website or an email or something connected to him, and he said that it wasn't him. They investigated. They said they couldn't prove that it was him, and so there was nothing that they could do.
You know, yeah, they did evaluation on him and everything last year, and they go, oh, he cool or whatever. They just ignored it. But right there's a red flag. I'd have put an ankle monitor on a little bastard and everything, and you know, it's crazy, man, how people just sit back and, you know, just, they just a threat, just to think it's just a joke, it's just some kids pranking and all that. Man, this stuff out here is real, man. Somebody say they go kill you or bop you aside your head, they mean that, man.
Well, but if they can't prove that it was him, you can't just throw an ankle monitor on somebody because you thought that it was them.
Let me call the White House and say I'm about to kill Bite. See what happens.
But if they can't prove that it was you, then they can't just throw an ankle monitor on you. Like, they gonna investigate, they gonna sit you down, they gonna interview you, and they say they did all of this with him. They sat him down, they did an interview with him, I believe with his daddy. He said it wasn't me. He said I would never do anything like that. I wouldn't even joke about anything like that. You know, apparently there's something and how it's tied to me, I don't know, but it wasn't me. They can't just be like, and they have no hard proof that it was you. They can't just be like, put him on the ankle monitor forever because one day he was accused of saying something. That's not the way it works.
But then they, prior to that, didn't they say it was a list of schools that they said they was go hit up or something like that?
Yes.
So why didn't, if y'all know all about these schools and that, why you ain't take precaution or whatever?
Well, now that I agree with. They
I don't understand. That's what I'm talking about, man. I just don't. The government is just totally messed up. But we want to put our eyes and focus. Okay, yeah, they go focus on that for a minute. We go focus on Trump and all that. Throw them off and look. Let them focus on that school shoot, and then we'll come right back to this. It's crazy, man, how the government is, man, how the system works. People can't even go to work or shop at the grocery store or church or school, man. But y'all want to still focus on this BS with Trump and Kamala. It's crazy, man.
They're running for the presidency. You can't, just because something happens today, you don't forget about who's running for president. You can have more than one conversation at a time.
I understand that, Emmanuel. But still, I was just saying, y'all mindset is focusing on that BS that's going in that White House or that puppet show they putting on. It's just, I don't understand. You see kids getting shot and everything, what's going on. What's the problem, man? You see what happened in Texas a year or two ago or whatever.
Okay, I'm not sure. What? So you want people to not talk about anything else?
No, they can talk. I mean, the politics is politics. They're going to do that and all that.
Right.
My thing is this. Why y'all just won't just sit down and like, y'all talking about education and gun control and all that. What's the problem, though, with this? Y'all saying y'all go do this and all that when y'all get it off, but I just don't see nothing happening, man.
Okay, may I ask you a question, sir?
And especially with this, when they say, well, you know, sometimes I said that most of this stuff kids is a Me Too ass movement. They get it from the rappers and everything. And I say they can get rid of rap if they want to, but they don't want to. They want to keep that drill music and that extra stuff going on.
May I ask you?
Because if you go over there in Russia, you can't play that rap music over there. You know that, don't you?
No, I don't. But may I ask you a question?
What, man?
Do you understand?
Don't piss me off either.
Do you? Well, I can't guarantee that. Do you understand how the government works?
Yeah, I understand all that though, man.
Okay, so.
But why is it that people gotta look over their shoulder everywhere they go into a grocery store or church or something like that?
Well,
it shouldn't be like that,
but
man.
Twin, but if you understand how government works, then you understand that nobody can just stand up tomorrow and say, no more guns, and they just go away. It's no longer legal. There's a whole process that you have to go through to make something illegal. You get that, right?
That's bull. That's bull.
Wait, you don't believe that there's a whole process that people have to go through to make a law?
Yeah, I know that. But if I'm over here in the United States, I'm in the Army.
All right.
I've been over here chilling.
All right.
Hey, Twin, get your ass up. We going to Iraq and go to war tomorrow. Hold on, I just came home. No, nigga, get up. We going over there to war. We gotta go. Man, they can make it happen, man.
That's different. That's very, very
ain't
different.
No damn different.
That is very different. Yes,
what you do this morning? What your monkey ass do this morning?
One of them.
What you do this morning?
I don't understand the question. I don't understand the question. I woke up.
Okay, you woke up and what you do? I gotta go to work at 8 o'clock, right?
No. I did a lot of stuff this morning.
Did you go to work today?
I did.
Okay, you got out of work. Damn, I'm gonna come on today.
Right.
I gotta come on at 3 o'clock. You had a mindset. You coming on at 3 o'clock, right?
Yes.
Okay, then. So what is you talking about? Things can be done.
What?
Like I got up this morning by the grace of God at 4 o'clock, and my mind said that I'm going to work.
But I'm not a government.
I'm going to work.
But I'm not a government.
You ain't got to be a government.
You
a person.
do. There's a way that government functions, right? So if I'm the president, Twin,
if a rat come over and shoot one of them missiles, what they go do?
Twin,
what the government go do if they shoot it to the United States? What they go do?
Twin, they gonna try to
retaliate real quick, right?
Twin, if I'm the president,
you can't say, man, don't give me that. Don't give me that.
I'm just trying to help you.
Don't give me that, man.
I really don't
y'all
think
keep making excuses for all. That's not how the government works.
I don't think that you understand how the government works.
Man, you can't. I know how they work, and they been working and tricking y'all man for the long.
How do you think that they work?
Tricking our man for the long to fall for this bullshit that's going on.
But I'm for real. How do you think the government works?
I know how they work, man.
How?
This got to go through that man, and this got to go through that man till you get to the first man who started it.
What?
That's how the government works.
No, that's not how the government works.
It's a chain of command, man. I got to go through that person, get to that person.
No.
Well, how do they work then?
All right. So, Twin, we're going to put you in the House of Representatives, okay? Hypothetically, theoretically. You're in the House of Representatives, and you believe that 14-year-olds, it should be illegal for people to have guns around 14-year-olds, right? Are you with me?
Go ahead, man. I'm listening to you.
All right. So what you have to do is you have to introduce a bill, and you need to get some people with you on board so that your bill can pass, right? Because you're going to present it to the House of Representatives, because this is what Twin thinks is important. So now if Twin doesn't get enough votes in the House of Representatives, that bill is dead. It's not going to be illegal for me to have a gun around a 14-year-old.
Then I just say chain of command and stuff. I know all about that.
Yeah,
I just
apparently
said
you
chain
don't.
of command.
I'm telling you,
you
though,
got to go
but-
through this and that.
But
That's called chain of command.
But what the this and the that is very important, because you got hundreds of people who have to vote on making it illegal for me to have a gun around a 14-year-old. And like I said, if enough people don't vote for that, then it don't pass. But let's say you get the votes in the House of Representatives, right? So now there's
Man, I know all about that mess. So, you know, what are you trying to... That's uneducated, man. I already know about that mess you
Then what do you?
about,
Then how
man.
do you think then the president can just stand up and say it's illegal for you to have a gun around 14-year-olds and that's the law of the land? That's not the way it works.
My point is this. Y'all can make all these laws and do this and all that. Why y'all can't make a law to say, man, this some got to give on these going in these schools, going to these churches, grocery stores, and all, just shooting up innocent people.
There
for
are
no reason.
laws
It's
that
gotta-
says that's not legal. The laws already exist. It is not legal to go into a church and shoot up a whole bunch of people, or to go into a school and shoot up a whole bunch of people, or to go into a grocery store and shoot up a whole bunch of people. It's already illegal.
I'm saying it's got to be something strong, man. They got to really put their foot down and all that. From all this killing and everything else that's
But
going
put
on.
their foot down how? You are the president now. What are you doing tomorrow?
I will get with my Congress, Senate, and everybody in the local leagues. Like, man, what type of advice or anything we can do to stop all this madness, man?
And they gonna say, I don't know. You tell us. You
Man,
the
they need
leader.
to go to them
What
foreign
do we
countries
do?
and get some ideas or something. Because you go over there in one of them foreign countries, steal some chicken or something like that, they go, which one you stole it with? They go chop your hand off.
And so that's what you want to see, that if somebody steals something, they chop their hand off.
Man, what? What else?
I'm
Just
asking.
like you go out there, man, I don't care, but I'm just saying.
You know,
If they wanna
but you
be
know
harsh,
that we
people
have.
stop stealing chicken.
But you know we have
Just like
this
if
thing.
you go over there.
You know we have this thing, the Constitution, right? And that's why we don't just go to Russia and say, hey, what y'all doing? Because then they might say, yo, comrade, just chop their hand off and everything is Gucci. But we don't want to do that because we got freedoms. Don't you like your freedoms?
Yeah, I like freedom, but I don't like the government keep messing over us either.
But how is that 14-year-old going in that school shooting people up? How is that the government messing with people?
It could have been prevented, man. If
How?
they had tight security. It could have.
Okay.
If they had. Let me tell you something. Let me tell
Go
you
ahead,
something.
I'm
Let me
listening.
tell you something
Go,
before I go.
tell me.
I gotta get this. Let me
Get
tell
the
you.
milk. Gotta
When
get
we
the
was
milk.
growing up, Emanuel, you ain't hear none of this BS going on in school shooting and all that. And because if you come in there, because let me tell you, I go around gangbangers and everything else. And they go definitely pet you down. They was always on security. Even though, they got paid from other hey, let me get this and all that, whole list, whatever, and everything. But they was on security and they knew, no, you ain't coming up in here on this. That's how they weak-minded now. They got the rental cops up in there with no bangers on them in some of these schools, and that's how these kids really get in. Come on, man, 14-year-old get in there with an AK-47, whatever he in, and shoot up the whole school? That's crazy, man.
Well, I understand a little bit the point that you're making, but people treat...
Man, y'all holding
So-
them government talking about some this, they can't do this.
This
man,
is not,
there's ways
but this
they
is
can
not
do
a
it.
government.
They don't want to do it.
This is not a government thing. It's
I was
already
just-
illegal.
I'm just saying, I was just telling you.
Oh.
You saying the president can't do this, man, they can do it.
What
They can do it by all
again,
means
I'm
necessary.
asking you, do what?
Don't-
What would you do
I'm saying-
if you the president tomorrow? What would you do?
I would sit down with the Congress and everybody else like, man, we need to come up with something. Forget this, man.
And everybody
People
gonna
can't even
say
walk the
we
street.
don't. And everybody gonna say, Mr. President Joyner, we don't know what to do,
They
Mr.
ain't gonna say
President.
that. They don't think
so
like
you
your ass.
tell
They
me
don't think like
they
you.
don't know what to do. If they knew
know
what to do. But
they know what to do.
They don't.
They just like.
They don't. They
Just like
don't
when they-
know what
just
to
like
do.
when they
So
in
what would you
just
do?
like when they-
What would you do, President
like-
Joyner? What is your suggestion, President Joyner?
I would think of something real harsh to
What?
stop
Come
all
on,
this
right
mess.
now, because something might happen tomorrow, Mr.
Probably-
President. Tell us what to do
Probably-
right now.
Probably do like Kamala.
No,
Take everybody
no,
AK-47.
probably, Mr. President. Mr. President, a kid was killed. Kids were killed yesterday. We are meeting today, Mr. President. We need a solution. Tell us what to do, President Joyner.
Like, man, what happened? Do an investigation. What happened? Okay.
So we all know
Hey,
what
hell
happened. A
with
kid
this.
was in school. He had a
Hell
AR and
with
he
this.
shot some people.
We got to sit down and come up with some type of solution to stop this.
Mr.
madness,
President,
man.
we need a
Put a
solution
free-
now. We don't need a
Put a
solution.
free.
Go ahead.
What they do best? Send a National Guard up in there or whatever.
You the president.
Put
You
a-
tell me what to do.
I don't know. I'll probably send the National Guard. Do something.
You're going to send the
I don't know,
National
some
Guard
of-
to every school in America.
Hey, they ain't doing nothing else.
That's
Gotta come up with
President
something.
Joyner's answer is send the National Guard to literally
I
every
don't know
school
what
in
I would do
America.
because I don't never think about being a president. So I wouldn't know what to do right
Because
now.
here's why. Because it's silly to feel like the president is the person who's responsible and who has the solution. Because it's already illegal to do what's happening. The question becomes, how do you keep it from happening? And sending the National Guard to literally every school in America is not feasible, reasonable, logical, realistic, or any of that kind of stuff.
I hear you, little dude.
Well, but give some thought to it, Mr. President, and then you
I ain't getting no thought,
and
man.
tomorrow.
Okay.
No, Mr.
No,
President,
I'm not.
if
I'm
we
thinking
can't
about
talk
this
about the
crazy.
presidential election because them kids was shot yesterday, then you can't go put up milk without thinking about them kids being shot yesterday. So when you come in tomorrow, Mr. President, I want a solution to gun violence in America. I want it on my desk tomorrow by 3:30.
I'm not talking president. It might be another topic I want to talk about tomorrow.
No, we're not talking about presidential politics. We're talking about solutions on my desk tomorrow by 3:30.
You don't have a desk. You got a little cardboard table in the booth.
Okay, on my cardboard table, Mr. President, I need a solution on it tomorrow by 3:30.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, what else?
All right.
I gotta go.
All right. Have a good one. Why can't they just fix it? It's not the way it works. Just call all of the leaders together and say, send the National Guard to all the schools. It's not the way it works. Again, that's not reasonable, but that's not the way it works. Make it illegal. It's already illegal. He want to go to the people who he say won't do nothing to ask them what to do. It's not the way government works. Nate.
E-Man, what's happening?
How you doing, sir?
I didn't know if you was leaving at 5 o'clock or somewhere
That
around
was the
here.
plan. That was the plan.
I better quit fooling around and call. So I want to run a couple things by you. I kind of want to pick up on some stuff that Twin hit, some stuff that Ron hit, and then talk about Karamia and how she trying to get people set up to get arrested or how they votes not count. It's a terrible shame what that young lady, confused lady did. Now, first of all, I want to make this point on marijuana. Because they always talking about what Trump did. Trump hooked black people up. He made life better for black people. But Trump had 4 years to make marijuana either legal, decriminalize it, do something. He did nothing. Whereas Joe Biden and Kamala Harris went in there, they are right now moving at the federal level marijuana from a Schedule 1 drug to a Schedule 3 drug. That means it'll still be illegal, but they can do research on it. They can get prescriptions on it. I had to double and triple check this. I believe you can get it covered by with a prescription, even through like Medicaid, Medicare. Veterans should be able to get it for free. So, you know, they say votes don't matter. What have they done for us, for people, for the common man and woman? Well, people calling in talking about they love to smoke weed, and there's something that Biden did much better than Trump did. Trump didn't do nothing. Now, what Trump did as far as criminals, because I really wish that I had not lost all my. I used to have contacts to all kind of people in the national media, and I've misplaced them. I don't have them. You know, people that moved around. Anyway, it bothers me when I see them. They're trying to do a Willie Horton. And for younger, you remember the Willie Horton, right?
Absolutely.
Michael Dukakis running. They try to make him look soft on crime. And so I predict, and I won't be wishy-washy like radicalized Ron was, I'm making a prediction. I can almost guarantee it, that Trump is going to try to, at the debate, which is, a week away, he's going to throw up immigrant crime. And they've been calling it Biden crime. And they've been trying to give it Kamala crime. But they're focused on some people they claim entered the country illegally. They were immigrants, you know, which is supposed to make us all scared, and that these immigrants committed terrible crimes. And I keep wondering, why don't we talk about all the Trump criminals? And I got two examples that I want to share with you and your audience.
Just so you
Number
know,
one,
hold on, just so you know, I was wondering the same thing because I was hearing a conversation about some of these people that Donald Trump pardoned or let out with the First Step Act and all that kind of stuff, who went on to commit some heinous crimes. But go ahead.
Number one is a guy named Jamie Davidson. Jaime, if people out there listening want to Google. Jamie was convicted of killing a cop. That's a pretty bad crime. He was given a life sentence with no parole. And then, not only did he kill the man, he from the news thing I'm reading from Newsweek, it says he stole $42,000 from the undercover cop. So that's pretty bad stuff. We say we don't want criminals out here because usually, you know, people love that term black on black crime. Usually, and this was a black fella, usually, if it's a black criminal, his victims are black people. Not always. So I object to the black on black crime label. Anyway, so Trump let this guy out of jail. The guy gets out. He marries this lady. And 2 years after he was let out of jail by Trump, he went on to strangle the lady. I got to find it and read it to you because I'm not laughing at this lady, but it sounds very terrible what he did to her. And he's charged in Orlando, Florida, with battery by strangulation and domestic violence. He was accused of strangling his wife, to whom he had been married for 5 months. This woman she went to trial, she testified, said he, quote, grabbed me by the neck with his left hand and choked me. She told him to let me go because I can't breathe. He then grabbed her. Chang told the jury she felt weak. Her body started feeling cold. She said she thought she was going to die, and that the only thing I could think of was my child who was in the other bedroom. Oh, my God. I missed that the first time I read through it. So, unfortunately, this lady was so scared. She felt like she couldn't call the police because if she did, she would be deported. So he got one of them immigrants, and then went and did these terrible things to her. And they would, and the lady said she felt like she would be deported, and they would take away her son. So she had to put up with this abuse, even when the man done choked her by the neck and choked her so hard and so tight that she couldn't breathe, and her body started feeling cold. And you know that's when somebody's choking, as they used to say, choking the shit out of you. And I just think that that's terrible, and I don't understand why the Democrats don't, every time they whip something on Biden and Kamala Harris, they ought to whip that on them. That's case number one. Case number two, and these details are pretty bad too. You had a loan shark and a drug smuggler. This guy, Trump, let him out. Now, I believe he was white. I haven't seen a picture of him. Same kind of story, except this guy got out. He whooped up on his wife and his father-in-law, who was over the age of 65. So they put charges on him for elder abuse, along with all the stuff about his wife. The point is, I'll say it here, and I'm going to continue to say it. They want us to praise Trump for letting out all those criminals. I don't know if these two that I just gave you was part of that First Step Act or Fresh Start Act or whatever it was called. But I do know that, and I gave y'all this statistic, I think last week, out of, I think, 30,000 people that he let out of prison, sicked on the community, that something like 3,600 of them reoffended, got rearrested. So how do we say, oh, Trump did us a favor, us being black people, by letting all these criminals out, when they went on to reoffend? These were black people, like that lady, what was her name? I can't remember her name. They wanted us to praise her. She was a dope dealer. No, I ain't doing that. I'm sorry. I don't think we ought to say that people who are promoting us as the lowest common denominator, the bottom of the barrel people, that's a good thing. No, when people say, what did you do for black folks? Now, I'm with Trump saying, well, I did do something for the HBCUs. That's the best and the brightest among us. So I'm with that. He did give them $250 million. Now, of course, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris came in there, and they just said, man, that's chump change. They gave him $16 billion over 3.5 years, and so they just blew his little thing that he did for the HBCUs out the water. Now, I keep, when I hear misinformation or bad information or just twisted information, I think it's important that somebody come back and at least give out what I believe is researched, factual information. Now, we claim in America this is a great melting pot, and I think most reasonable people who look at the population levels in, like, say, the 1950s, especially in the cities, say, hey, we used to have, I think, I'm just throwing this off the top of my head, 500,000 people, 500,000 people in the city of Cincinnati in 1950 at its peak, and now we're down to about 300,000. Mm-hmm. So we got room in the city of Cincinnati for some more people. We ought to be trying to grow the population in these cities, not trying to find reasons to keep people out. And guess what? Something else you just said, they might not look just like us. They might have an accent. We ought to embrace them people and repopulate our cities. So when I hear that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris had a program where they were accepting up to 30,000 people a month from Haiti, Nicaragua, Venezuela, and Cuba, I say That's great because anybody who studied history knows we've always had to fight to get people of color into the country through the immigration system, whereas if people from England and France and Ireland and Germany and you know what I'm saying, from the white countries say they want to come, we bend over backwards to let them people in. So when I heard that they were doing up to 30,000 people a month, and that over the months that they had done it, the number one people were Haitians, I said, wait a minute. All the people who love to talk about Clinton, well, the Clintons destroyed Haiti, and they stole all the money from the Haitians. I say, shouldn't y'all be happy that Joe Biden, who wasn't in the Clinton administration, Kamala Harris, who wasn't in the Clinton administration, that now they're hooking the Haitians up? Don't we want to see something done for Haiti and for the Haitians? Or do we just want to just gripe and complain? We really ain't for legal immigration. We're against all immigration. We, like you said, we in the circle. Now we want to close up the circle. Don't let nobody else in. Then they say, well, all these people who come into America, they getting in line. They taking our food stamps. They taking some kind of debit cards that they claim they get. They do. Well, these people who are coming from Haiti, Nicaragua, Venezuela, and Cuba, number one, they have to apply online. That's to keep them from illegally crossing the border. That's what people said they wanted to see done. Number two, they have to have a financial sponsor. Number three, they have to pay their own way. So they're not riding on the airplane, because I can hear somebody out there probably punching the air and grumbling right now. Maybe not even grumbling, maybe screaming at the phone or screaming at the screen, or however they listening to you, saying, they ain't sent no airplanes down to Haiti, down to Africa to bring the Africans up here for free. I know plenty of people. Well, these people have to pay their own way on the airplane, and so they have to have a sponsor so that they can't go get on government benefits as soon as they hit America. And I'm just saying, you know, it's kind of ridiculous. Now, Cara Mia, today on the Lincoln West show, Lincoln is on vacation, right? So he had that lady who said she don't want me to ever mention her name. I think she said ever mention her name again. So I won't do it. But the lady who runs the board and who guest hosts when Lincoln wears apps.
Raven Monday.
Sometimes. Well, you said it, I did. So Cara Mia calls in. They talking about this issue from the Secretary of State saying, look, and we know what he's trying to do. They don't like the drop boxes. They really
I
don't
forgot
like,
to bring that up. I meant to bring that up today, too. Go ahead.
They really don't like absentee voting. They don't like nothing about it. Now, what they did, they've done this a couple of times, but they did it once focused on something that happened in Ohio. Every one of those drop boxes, there must be a camera. It's part of the law. When they fought to get them down, because they used to have more than one drop box in some of these big counties, like Cuyahoga County, Franklin County, even Hamilton County, I think, had more than one. So they said you can only have one, and it has to have a camera, a working camera, and the camera has to work 24 hours a day. Basically, we want to be able to see who's putting these absentee ballots in the drop box. So what the Secretary of State said, he issued a directive the other day, and it's being fought in the courts. He said, listen, you can put your own absentee ballot in the drop box. He said, but if you're taking a family member or a disabled person's absentee ballot down there, you cannot put it in the drop box. You have to take it inside the Board of Elections. Now, Cara Mia was on here just, you know, how people just be kind of, you know, rambling a little bit, theorizing. Well, I don't see why we should have to follow that. She said she called down to the Board of Elections, and they told her that they were not going to be monitoring absentee ballots. And so, therefore, she felt like it was a good idea to tell all the Lincoln Ware listeners, the thousands and maybe hundreds of thousands of listeners, that we should just ignore what the Secretary of State said, and we should just listen to her. And if you want to take a family member or a neighbor or a disabled person's absentee ballot down there and put it in the drop box, just go ahead and do it, because now, Fox News has a big thing about taking these videos, taking outside the drop boxes, and then they say, here's a case of voter fraud, and we've got it on camera. Now they saying, so people in the chat were saying, well, how would they know that wasn't, let's just use Cara Mia since we threw her name out there. How would they know that that's not Cara Mia's ballot? Well, number one, if they see Cara Mia come more than once, and again, people are actually going through these videos. They're getting the car make, the model, the license plate. So they say, well, we've seen that person come more than one time. So now they're going to say, well, which date was she there? So if they do they used to do the boxes more than once a day. So if they got, let's say they do it every hour on the hour, right? Just to make it easy. So if they see Cara Mia's car there at 8 o'clock and then again at 1 o'clock, they can go back and get the batches of ballots from 8 o'clock and from 1 o'clock. And unless Cara Mia done submitted two, then they know one of these is questionable. The other way is, if we get a ballot in, they got everybody's date of birth. So if we get a ballot in from a 81-year-old white woman, and they would know how would they know if she's a white woman? How would they know her age? Because when you register to vote, you give them your age, and then when you go vote, you swipe your ID or your driver's license, and then they get a record of that picture. They know what you look like. They know your age. So let's say Cara Mia drops off some 86-year-old woman's ballot. They get that ballot, they go check the cameras. Ain't nobody that even look like no 86-year-old woman in there. So they can either call up the 86-year-old black woman or whatever and say, hey, did you personally drop off this ballot in the drop box on this date between the hours of 8 a.m. and 12 noon? If that lady says no, guess what? It's a chance that she's got an invalid ballot. So, number one, it's dumb to do it because you could get in trouble. Because you've been notified that this is the directive, this is the rule. And if they can accuse you of ballot harvesting, which is a buzzword of the month, of ballot harvesting, which is harvesting, going around collecting people's ballots and taking them to the drop box, that's illegal. I don't know why it's illegal, but they made it illegal. Number one, you setting yourself up for criminal charges. Number two, the person who gave you their ballot, who didn't actually put a mail stamp on it and mail it, or who didn't personally deliver it, now it's a chance that their ballot won't get counted. So it's done. And number three, now you done gave, let's say they take that video, they send it to Fox News or whoever. Now you done gave them propaganda to say, see, this is why he said that they need to come inside, because, of course, they got cameras on the inside, too. This is why the Secretary of State is justified in saying they need to come inside. They're trying to cheat. And of course, if it really, really gets, and they got that video to just keep playing over and over again. And, of course, I believe, even though I don't have no evidence, no scientific research, no polls, no nothing to say this, I believe Kamala Harris is going to do way better in all these states than they predicted. I think she might win Ohio. And then they're going to need every excuse to say they stole the election. And this is one way they did it, by stuffing them ballot boxes, them drop boxes. And so I got a beef with her. I know I don't think she listens to this show, but I'm talking about her, and I think that was all I had on my list.
All right.
Do you have any questions for me?
I don't have any questions for you.
Oh, let me say this one last thing, because I meant to call you yesterday after the show. That was so funny when you was repeating radicalized Ron's words back to him and put that. You said it was a bad accent. It might have been. It might not have been. I thought it was a funny accent, and I thought it made the point perfectly. Man, sometimes we need to listen to what we're saying. And I thought today he might call and say, you know what, bruh, you made a point, and I didn't like how those words sounded, and I'm rethinking my position. That's it.
All right. I appreciate the call. All right. And the compliment. Thank you. Yeah, I meant to bring that up. I'm not going to go into it because I got some stuff that I had to do. But they don't want you to vote. They feel like if you vote, they lose. They know it's not, back in the day, I remember when politicians used to encourage everybody to get out and vote. That was the whole thing. Everybody, get out and vote. Everybody, get out and vote. If you can get out and vote, get out and vote. That was the whole move, was to get as many people out to vote as they could possibly get out to vote. And when I say it wasn't just Republicans telling Republicans to get out and vote and Democrats telling Democrats to get out and vote. There was like a move to the get out to vote movement. That's not the movement anymore. The movement, and it seems to be from the Republican side, is the fewer people that vote, the better. And we need to make it as difficult as we can make it to vote. Put up as many obstacles as we can. Don't mean that you can't maneuver around, over, under, through, whatever the obstacle. But their goal is to put up as many obstacles as they can. I just watched Andor. I know it's Star Wars. Don't really have a whole lot to do with anything. But they did something in Andor. And Andor is old, so I'm comfortable giving spoilers, even though I'm going to try not to give that many. In Andor, there's a part in the series where Cassian and his crew is getting ready to attack Imperial base. And the night that they've chosen to attack this Imperial base is a night where this fantastic thing happens in the sky. And the natives to that land view this as some sort of a spiritual thing. So they make a pilgrimage to this particular site. And one of the things that the Imperial officers don't like them making that pilgrimage. They want them to just stop. And they were talking about some of the tactics that they use to keep them away. And when they said it, when I say it, y'all know it's going to remind you of how this country deals with black people to a degree. One of the Imperial officers asked a lesser Imperial officer, how many of them is it? How many people can we expect? How many people are coming? And he said, well, they started out with, I want to say he said 500. He might have said more. I want to say he said 500. They started out with 500. We offered them help, but we knew they wouldn't take it. So what we did was we strategically placed along the route in different cities that they're going to come through, places where they can get cheap drink and a nice place to rest. So just with us offering them a place to get cheap drink and rest, alcohol, we put some pony kegs, we put some corner stores. They started out with 500. As of last count, there's only 60 that'll end up getting here if, they don't also get distracted by the alcohol and nice place to rest. I tell that story because y'all know that is kind of how they do. They put up obstacles, avoidable obstacles, but obstacles nonetheless, because the idea is it's not impossible for you to do it. It might even be easy to do it. But there's enough people who are easily distracted enough. We ain't gonna stop them from voting. But we're gonna put enough obstacles in their way to make some of them just give up. It ain't worth it. I'm not going through all that trouble. And they understand in the position that a lot of us are in, we don't trust the government anyway. We don't believe in elections anyway. The election ain't even gonna happen. It's gonna be a terrorist attack. Voting don't mean nothing anyway. They always saying stuff, and they ain't gonna do what they say they gonna do. If they was gonna make changes, they would have made changes anyway. So now I'm already not necessarily really motivated to vote because I don't believe in the people, in the system, in none of that. And if I just put that one other thing, you got to have a government ID. F it. I'm just not going to vote. It ain't even worth the time. You got to come into the building to drop off your absentee ballot or an absentee ballot for somebody that's not you. Wow, when I could just pull up to the box and drop it in. Y'all got to go into the building. Forget it. Forget it. It ain't even worth the trouble. People understand that that's a thing. That's a real thing. And while we may not always understand it, we may not always see it that way. Sorry, y'all, I'm trying to do something here. It is definitely something that they see and that they will do. Because they want to distract you. They want to discourage you. Don't be discouraged. And yes, definitely play by the rules. Y'all, I got to get ready to get out of here. I don't know what happened to the chat. My chat went away. Hold on. Yeah, my chat went away. I hope I'm still alive. Yeah, it looks like I'm still alive. Hold on. Yeah, my chat went away. I hope. Okay. Yeah, the chat's still going on, but I'm not getting it, as y'all can see on the screen. But that's okay, because I'm about to go anyway. But yes, they are, without a doubt, trying to discourage you from... hold on. Hello?
From the chat room, you're still live.
Okay.
Back to the news.
Thank you. But they will do, even if it's something small, they will do whatever it is that they can do to discourage you. Don't be discouraged. The days of wanting everybody to vote are over. We live in the days of, if we can suppress the vote of the people, we can win. We can make it harder for people to vote. And y'all know, I mean, the truth of the matter is, those people who, I'm going to say fortunate, those people who are fortunate to have resources and, you know, all of that kind of stuff and advantages, because there are people who have advantages. Telling them they got to bring some ID ain't going to discourage them. They believe in the system is working for them, or they are working the system, and they believe that they can make it and that they can use the system to their advantage. Those people are going to vote. There's a whole lot of people who don't believe the system worked for them, who would be easily distracted by strong drink, and a comfortable place to lay their head. Would be too distracted to follow through and see the journey to its end. We can't let those people get distracted. It really does bother me that the goal is to have less voter engagement when that is your strategy to win. Less voter engagement is your strategy to win. It just says to me, you're doing something wrong. And I don't necessarily like that. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. See, Stephanie Hyde said economy, economy, economy. Ron said black folk too lazy to get up and vote. It ain't just black folk. It ain't just black folk. There's a lot of poor white people out there too who not gonna get up and go out and vote. Who gonna say, oh, I'm not doing that whole ID thing. Forget it. It's gonna be a whole lot of them. So don't, stop thinking it's just black people. When people say stuff like that, we're not just talking about just black people. And Janice says that's what losers do. But people put people in positions. People manipulate people. Yeah, they'll be weak. We shouldn't be capitalizing on the weakness of people. Instead, we should be trying to build them up. But that's not the way our political system is run, and that's just not the way it's going to happen. Hold on. Let me put that back up there. Move that. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me, taking time and listening to me and all of that good stuff. Get out there, enjoy the day. It's supposed to be a nice day. Tomorrow's supposed to be rainy. But then Saturday it's supposed to be kind of cool and, they even say, hey, wear a sweater. So get out and enjoy today. And get ready to kind of be reined in tomorrow, but enjoy the weekend. All right? As you're out and about enjoying your weekend, do me a favor, as always, be the reason that somebody smiles today. Till next time, I'm out, everyone. Peace.